Hoffaday. My name is Daniel Squadra, and I'm here with.
Nevea.
And today we will be discussing what we learned in Lection Siete of my Chamorro course. So in this week, we basically covered, or we did some reviews on the previous weeks. The one thing that I did find helpful when we reviewed was going over some of the connecting words, such as na, which is a connector or link word when put in a sentence. Gi, which means of, at, in, to, on, or from. Giza, which is used when you're naming using the names of formal places, and then Gaigi, which is a location indicator. Those are some of the other things that we learned in the previous week that we reviewed. But this week, the main topic of this week was we learned who type pronouns. Do you know what who type pronouns are?
First person pronouns?
No. So it's
Who type pronouns?
yeah. So far, I've learned two other types of pronouns other than this one. So the first type was possessive pronouns, which shows
Oh,
ownership
yeah.
when you're talking in the language,
Mm-hmm.
and the next one is zoo type pronouns. Going back to my notes, you use zoo type pronouns when sorry you don't use articles such as e or c with zoo type pronouns. Um, Rather than when you use possessive pronouns, you do use articles. And then the third one that we just learned this week was who type pronouns. So who type pronouns are used when saying transitive sentences.
Which are.
So transitive sentences, this is when the language gets a little bit complicated because you use different types of pronouns when using different kinds of sentences. So transitive sentences is when you're passing ownership from the actor to a direct object. So like a famous example or like a popular example is who guides a how, right? Means
Mm-hmm.
I love you. So who is a who type pronoun. So
Means
because
I.
you're transferring over love from the actor, which is me, to you, that's when you use who type pronouns. So you use it for an example, which is who guides a how, because your love is transferring over.
Ah.
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I didn't know it was this deep either, but
I
yeah,
knew the
now
pronouns and I know how to use some of them in sentences, but I didn't know uh where it came from or why. I didn't know
yeah.
why we use the different
Mhm.
pronouns in certain sentences. I only just know how to say the sentences. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense because you've been taught the basic Chamorro language your whole life, but if you're learning it from like my perspective, the reason or the way you tell which ones to use is by the type of sentence you're trying to put together.
Yeah, that I didn't know.
Yeah,
I
cause
just
it's
use whatever
yeah,
pronouns.
yeah, it's that deep. So, it's almost the same exact thing as the zoo type pronouns and the possessive pronouns. Like it all means the same. Like I, you, we inclusive, we exclusive, they, he, she. It's just using in a different context, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everything's the same. Use it in a different context, and then modifiers like question markers, intensifiers like cow, right? Using cow or using like golf or gef, it's all used in the same
Wait,
the same
did you
context.
ever figure out how or when to use those, is it exaggerated or
Which one?
those emphasized words like golf,
Yeah, you could use it in
must?
Yeah, I don't know yet which ones are right for what sentences, but you can use it in any context, whether it's any of the three pronouns, right?
So you don't know if like you can only use golf in transitive sentences or
Yeah, no, you could use it.
it's either anyone.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of pronoun you're using it with. It depends on the words you're using in the sentence.
Oh, see, so I told
Yeah,
you, it's whichever one sounds right.
yeah, but I don't know what sounds right, um, but the one of the key things about who type pronouns is these come in the beginning of the sentence, but like possessive pronouns or zoo type pronouns, they come at the end of the word, right? The end of the word you're using,
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
gimana, right?
yeah,
That's at the end of the word, but who type pronouns are used in the beginning. Hence, who guides a how,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I love
yeah,
you.
yeah.
So that's another key thing to know about the who type pronouns. But yeah, that's basically what we covered. All the rules apply with the modifiers, and it's just in the text that you're using these pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that's basically what we covered this week, and thank you very much.